up, guys? You ready to party like it's 1999? So do you guys remember a while back I did a review on this Glarry GTL semi-hollow Tele style guitar? That's what this is, and I finally got around to doing some upgrades on it to making it sound better and look cooler. So when I started looking at the pickguard options, the different designs, the different colors that they had, the leopard one is the one that immediately jumped out at me. And not because I was thinking about Prince and his guitar. I wasn't even thinking about that at all. I swear. This is just the design that I thought, well, that's gonna look really good with this like butterscotch color on the guitar. And then it was later on that I realized, and I remembered that Prince guitar, and then I was looking at some pictures online going, oh yeah, he had the same leopard print pickguard. His has a maple board, his was not semi-hollow, different pickups, you know, but just the sort of general, it was a Tele-shaped guitar, this color, pretty much, and the leopard print pickguard. That's what is the same about it. So in addition to changing the pickguard, I also changed both pickups, and I changed the bridge, and then I changed the cover plate here for the control cavity. And all that stuff was done like really cheaply because, of course, where did I buy this stuff? On AliExpress. Now, swapping out this stuff was not quite as easy as I thought it was gonna be. I literally thought I would just take the old stuff off and put the new stuff right on and it would all fit together, you know, perfectly, but that turned out to like not be the case. First of all, the pickguard. The pickguard, you know, wasn't a big deal that the holes don't line up because you can drill new holes really easily, especially in this wood. It's really soft. So putting it on there, putting new holes for the screws, that's pretty simple. But the main thing about the pickguard is that it was covering part of the hole right here. It covered up the edge. The pickguard actually came up like right around like this and was more rounded, a little bit more, you know, just thicker right here. I didn't want it to cover part of that because I just thought it looked terrible. It doesn't look good. So I got out my little $10 Dremel and I trimmed the pickguard. I basically just shaved it down, sanded it down until it no longer covered that hole. Now down on the bottom of the pickguard right here where you can see the control cavity cover kind of goes up into this little gap, well, the gap on the pickguard like wasn't quite wide enough, so it wouldn't, you know, the metal part wouldn't fit in there. So again, I had to trim on the inside of that to make it a little bit open more so that then that would fit together. So that wasn't too hard either. All right, the most annoying part or the most effort that I had to put into was getting the bridge and the bridge pickup and all that to sort of line up and fit together in a way that it made sense and that it needed to. Okay, see how we have the holes in the back of the guitar? The problem is that on the original bridge, the holes where the strings are gonna come up through, they were all the way at the back of the bridge, and the bridge piece was like a little bit further back than this one. Well, these holes are like right here where the saddles are, not all the way in the back where the bridge is. I mean, I could have put the bridge back and lined up the holes with the holes in the body, right? So that the strings would come up straight and come right out through there. Well, the issue with that is intonation. If you don't have the correct length going from the nut to right at, you know, on the saddles here, where the strings rest on the saddles. What am I trying to say? So you need about 25.5 inches. That's why this scale length, right? Have you heard that before? Scale length, 25.5. Well, what does that mean? That means that the length of the string from the nut to the saddle needs to be about 25.5 inches. If it's longer than that or shorter than that, you're not gonna be able to set the proper intonation. And then when you go to play something up here, it sounds all out of tune and off key. So that's the issue that I had, that if I were to line up the holes with the holes in the body, it would have been longer than 25.5 inches and the intonation never would have been right. Okay, so how did I go about solving that? Well, you know, when I measured it, the 25.5, the edge of the saddles needed to be closer, not further back. They were too far back, so it had to come closer. All right, so then the problem is the holes in the bridge are now further this way and the holes in the body are a little bit further back. So when you try to put the strings through the body, they're coming up and they're just poking into the bottom of the bridge and not going into the holes like they're supposed to. So I got my drill and how should I describe this? I can't even really show you guys. I should have shown you without the bridge on there. Here's the top of the body, right? Here's the holes on the bottom coming up like this. And then here's the bridge holes over here, right? So it's like they're not lining up. So what I did on the body is I drilled the wood at an angle so that where it needs to come up through the bridge, that I took away some of that wood so it kind of joined to that hole that was going up for each string. Does that make any sense at all? I can't explain this the right way. So anyway, guys, it works, but here's the catch. So when I put the strings in the back of the body and they're coming up through the guitar, they bump into the bottom of the bridge and I need to keep pushing it until the string, I kind of force the string to go like this under the bottom of the bridge and then get up to where the hole is and kind of push it in there like that. It's not real easy to do because the strings, it's not like a snake where it's just gonna go where I want it to go. It's gotta go like this and then up. So it's doable, but it sometimes takes several minutes just to get one string to finally come popping out to where I can then, run it down there and connect it and tune it. So a little bit of a pain, but it's doable. But the most important thing out of all of that is that, I got the bridge on there. The length is correct, 25.5, so I can tune it up, I can intonate it, and it doesn't sound out of key and out of tune. Yes, I could have drilled 6 new holes, right? And then I would have had like 2 sets of holes back here. But all I have is a handheld drill, and I don't really trust myself to drill 6 perfectly straight holes right through the body like that. Now the other thing, guys, was with the new pickup here, now because the bridge is a little bit closer this way than the old bridge was, when I went to install this, the pickup was bumping into the wood of the body. There basically wasn't enough of a gap so that the pickup would fit in there. So I had to get out my 1/4-inch trim router and I had to basically cut away in there, under where the bridge is, had to cut away some of the wood so that the pickup could then fit in there. So I did that. Now speaking of the pickups, guys, I did change the pickups from, remember it had the chrome covered humbucker in the neck, and then I switched it to the zebra pickup. I don't necessarily think it sounds better than the other pickup. It just looks cooler, especially with this design. I think it looks really nice. The bridge pickup definitely sounds better. It is no longer that really cheap single coil style pickup that it originally came with. This is like the dual rails style single coil that sounds more like a humbucker. So it's got a lot more power and a lot more bite to it. All right, so I had it all wired up, all ready to go, got everything to fit together, finally got everything soldered together. I plug it in and I start to play it and I'm getting this loud buzz. So there was a grounding issue. And I wasn't really sure immediately, what's the grounding issue? Because I wired everything back together exactly the way it was originally wired. I took careful notes when I pulled it apart to make sure that the new pickups connected exactly where the old pickups connected, everything, but I'm still getting this buzz, a grounding issue. And then it dawned on me, okay, this is pretty much like a hardtail bridge, right? And all my other guitars where I have hardtails, you have to run a ground wire that goes up and under the bridge and connects to the bridge. Well, the original guitar didn't have that. The Glarry GTL, there was no ground wire going from like the volume pot or the tone pot and coming up and connecting to the bridge. They just didn't have that. And I thought, well, actually I didn't even think about it because I just copied the wiring the way it was originally. But then, you know, after having that buzz and then me going, wait a minute, this is a hardtail, why isn't there a ground going to the bridge? Okay, so I added in the ground wire. I sent a wire from the volume pot coming around here like by the pickup under there, and then now it's connecting like right under the bridge. And then right after I did that, boom, buzz gone, grounding issue fixed. And that's pretty much everything that I've done to this guitar, guys. I was originally thinking about like thinning the neck, shaving down the back of the neck, making it a little bit thinner, and then maybe I was gonna do a fret level. But after I did all that, I decided I just didn't feel like doing that. And it's okay because this doesn't need to be like a super awesome shred guitar anyway. I mean, it doesn't look like that, so it doesn't need to be that. And I've got tons of shred guitars. So as is, it still plays pretty good anyway. It definitely sounds better than it did originally, and of course it looks way cooler than it did before with the new pickguard, the new pickups, and I really like the design on the bridge and the control plate. And overall, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It wasn't a ton of work, wasn't as easy as I thought it was gonna be, but it wasn't, you know, a ton of work like making a complete guitar from scratch either. All right, guys, that's it. Let me know what you think of my new upgraded Glarry GTL semi-hollow Telecaster style guitar in the comments. And I will see you next time. Later.